What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about some Sunday games from the 24th. I'm recording this on the 25th before both of the Monday night games, so we're not going to cover those in this video, but I'm going to go over the Thursday night game and all the Sunday games with y'all, tell you what I think. Some fantasy guys you might need to look out for, some guys you might need to buy low on, or maybe some guys you should sell high on. Um, we can get it started with the Thursday night game. The 49ers laid it on the Giants 30-12. Let's see here. Purdy looked good again, 25 of 37 for 310, two tuds. Can't complain about that. McCaffrey, good game on the ground. And in the receiving game, 5 catches for 34 yards. Had a tud, had a rushing touchdown. Debo had a big day, 6 for 129 and a tud receiving with one carry for 2 yards. So nothing much in the run game. But Kittle looked good, 7 for 90. That's for a tight end, that's you take that all day. It's tough to find a tight end. Really, it's really, it feels like if you don't have Kelsey, Hawkinson, or Mark Andrews, or I mean even but Kittle still has down weeks from time to time, and so does Andrews. But when it gets past Kelsey's that guy that's going to get you 15 plus just about every single week. Um, and Andrews and Kittle and Hawkinson, they're pretty frequently in that range, but they have down weeks, and once you get past that, it's just a shot in the dark, guys. um, Nothing really fantasy wise for the Giants. At all. Like Giants defense wouldn't have been good. Their highest point score would have been like 6 points, I think. Or no, Matt Breida had like 9 points. I mean, if you're looking for anything on the Giants other than Saquon Barkley, who was out this past week for fantasy points, you're down bad. But anyways, let's move on to some Sunday games. Let's go over Tennessee, Cleveland. I actually thought Tennessee would sneak up on the Browns and beat them, but no, they just looked god awful. Um, Browns 27-3. I definitely, even if the Browns won, I thought it would be like something like 27-20, but the Titans just did not have it. Derrick Henry, as you can see, just 11 for 20. That just is not getting it done. But Cleveland, I mean, I like Cincinnati, so I have to watch Cleveland play at least twice a year. They are disruptive up front. They are just loaded on that D line. I'm telling you, it's I don't like it as a Bengals fan. I don't like how it looks. It looks dangerous. I mean, damn, Garrett had 3.5 sacks. Yeah, that dude's a freak of nature. That's he's unfair. But I made some big fantasy scores. Deshaun was a pretty good fantasy scorer. Um, Amari Cooper had a big day, 7 for 166 and a tud. And even Jerome Ford had a pretty decent day. He got involved in the passing game, had a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, but the yardage and receptions is just I wouldn't count on it every week, because if you take away the two touchdowns, he probably doesn't even have 5 points, I don't think. So that's what's a little scary about that. But the Cleveland defense actually would be pretty solid, I think, just with 3 points allowed and uh, all the sacks and the fumble recoveries. Or no, those are all. Yeah, no, never mind. Those are all offensive recoveries. Um, let's move on to the next game. Atlanta and Detroit. This guy, I mean, the Lions have probably a bottom 10 defense in the league, and the Falcons could do nothing. Ritter is the problem, guys. He can't throw the ball. Like, if you put him past the line of scrimmage, throwing the ball, no, it's ugly. Like, he's not the guy. No good fantasy scores in here. I mean, it's unfortunate. Kyle Pitts had a moderate day, like a decent day for a tight end. He got you 9 points, but it's ugly in Atlanta. I think in the quarterback situation, they just honestly, it would be in their best interest to lose and get one of the quarterbacks in this draft, in my opinion. The Lions side though, Gibbs would have been a mediocre fantasy scorer on the day. Laporta had a huge day. Amon-Ra had a really big day. And even Jared Goff at quarterback had a pretty good. I think he had a 20-point game, which if you're getting that out of Jared Goff, you're doing pretty good. But Lions, improved to 2-1. I kind of got shocked by their loss last week to the Seahawks in overtime. I did not think that would happen, but yeah, I mean 2-1, moving up. I think this is going to be the year that the Lions really prove that they're not a joke anymore. They're legit. New Orleans and Green Bay. I actually watched most of this game. Once Derek Carr got out of the game, it was brutal for the Saints offense. It really was. But I just and even like Jameson's numbers here or Jameis's numbers here like look mediocre, like just as good or better than Carr's. But I'm telling you, it was just a different game. They couldn't run it as efficiently after Carr left. Like it was odd. It was an odd game. But Chris Olave still got his. If you played Jimmy Graham, you looked up that he caught a touchdown, but I don't. You're maybe playing Jimmy Graham in a 32 team league, and I don't. There's no way. Jordan Love, pretty good game, but fantasy wise, pretty good game. But I mean, you'd like to see this Russian carry over every week. You like that to see that from Jordan Love, but again, I think getting Aaron Jones back will open its offense back up again, and I still think the Packers are going to be fairly decent. Now, like they've kind of proved me wrong. I did not think that they would be worth anything at all, but Jordan Love has played decent enough that I'd say they can win 9 games at least. Let's see. Denver and Miami. I'm telling you what, this was the ugliest game I've ever witnessed a part of. I mean, Miami took their starters out. They even put in Mike White, and he just 2 for 2 for 67 and a tub. Like, come on. And Tua is the front runner for MVP right now. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not even the biggest Tua fan. I think he's kind of he is benefiting massively from his circumstances, in my opinion. But I mean, he's shutting me up. Like, I don't care if you're benefiting from it or not. He's making the throws he's got to make. He's hitting the guys he's got to hit. I mean, that little the no look shovel pass, like, that thing was sexy. That's the kind of dude. That's MVP. He's playing like an MVP right now. If he can stay healthy, he will have asinine numbers. And Tyreek Hill as well will have asinine numbers at the end of the year. If you had a Miami Dolphins player in your lineup, you did good. I think Devon Achane had 50 something points. Tyreek had, what did he have? Let's see, I can. He had like 30 some. Tua had like 28. Like if you're a Dolphins guy, like in fantasy, you killed it. You killed it this way. And Mostert had like 40 something or 50 something. Like mm, it was just a wild game. That was, I mean, if you had Cortland Sutton or Jerry Judy or even Marvin Mims, you had decent production out of them. Um, Javante with a man day. I think Russ was like 15-point range or so. I can't really remember. I think he was around 15-point range, but again, if you're relying on Russell Wilson, you're struggling probably. But I mean, the Broncos offense though has vastly improved from last year, and that was what everyone called for was like, but losing the defensive coordinator, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try and butcher it. Losing that defensive coordinator from Denver and him going to Carolina was awful for Denver. I don't know what the hell changed, but it's been just bad defensively there. But Chargers and Vikings. Vikings, man, 0-3. When are they gonna address their defensive issues? Because let's just go look at something real quick. Kirk in 3 games has, let's see, what does he have? He has completed over 64% every single game, averaged over 7.3 an attempt every single game. He's got what is that? A 9-2 touchdown to pick ratio. Guys, I mean, mm, mm, that's that's something. But I mean, as usual, JJ Hawkinson and even Jordan Addison had a pretty decent day. Um, if you've got Jefferson, he's going to perform like every week. That's just how it goes. I'd say Kirk Cousins is going to perform just about every week. He's played pretty dang good every week, and I'm a Kirk. I like Kirk. I think Kirk's a good quarterback. I think he gets a lot of hate, but they got to do something about this defense. They got to upgrade it. They got to do something. Like Justin Herbert cannot complete 40 of 47 for 405 yards and 3 tuds. And I mean, Keenan Allen's was a trick play, I'm sure, but it's just like, guys, they've got to do something. And Keenan, if you're a Keenan owner, and I just traded Keenan in Dynasty this past week. I got a deal I don't think I could turn down just because of Keenan's age. But 40 something points again. Like he's the guy. He's the number one fantasy scorer right now in PPR. Now keep in mind Puka Nacua has not played his week 3 game yet, so he could get up there technically. But I mean, you got to be feeling pretty good about being a Mike Williams owner. He's had 2 good weeks in a row. A Keenan Allen owner. He's had 2 amazing weeks in a row. A Justin Herbert owner. He's had great games all year. Like even if the Chargers are losing, he's been killing it all year. But like just these offense, even Alexander Madison. Thank God he bounced back because that what happened with that guy is just that's screwed up. Um, but I mean, has a good bounce back game on the ground and in the receiving game. I mean, it's good to see guys bounce back when they're having some bull crap going in their life. Let's go to a snoozer. Um, if I'm not mistaken, there was some scrapping in this game. I think there was a little fight, a little drawing. Um, but if you played a Jets player, sorry, you didn't get anything. But what can you do though? Like if you've got Garrett Wilson, you took him high enough where you've got to play him every week. You've got to play him every week. I mean, at Brees Hall, the potential's there. You got to play him every week. Um, Jets defense still is always, I think, going to be pretty good. Patriots defense has played well like all year, but you're just not getting much. Pharaoh Brown, if you for some reason played him, you got good points out of him, but I would not expect those 15 points in a game again this year. Like it's just he's not even the number one tight end, like, and he's how old is Pharaoh Brown? 29. Gosh. Um, Ramondre didn't do much. Zeke actually outran him on 3 less carries. Is Zeke back? What are we talking about here? Is Zeke back? Is he the guy? No, I would say avoid everyone in this on this screen right now, other than Ramondre, Cook, and Hall and Wilson every week, because you don't know which backs really going to break out for New York, and Garrett Wilson's always potential for a big play. But Zach Wilson's, God, I feel bad for the kid, man. But it just sucks. I wish Aaron Rodgers could have made it through the season. I wanted to see what the dang Jets could do with a quarterback, but they might be in a position to draft one of the guys this year, and maybe that's the route they go. I don't know, but it's got to be hell for Jets fans. I mean, all right, Buffalo and Washington. This was ugly. As a UNC fan, Sam Howell, wow, that was bad. But I mean, no good fantasy scores here. Terry McLaurin got you 10, and that was as good as you were going to get. Josh Allen probably saved himself with the rushing yards and the rushing tud, but not the greatest day passing. I don't know. Josh Allen hasn't really. I mean, he looked good last week, but he's he's not been too great to start, and it's odd too because I mean, Burrow hasn't looked good. Allen hasn't looked good. God, who else hasn't looked good? In my opinion, Watson hasn't looked good. Lamar hasn't really looked that good. I mean, I know they're winning some, but I mean, they just lost to the dang Colts. But I mean, as usual, Diggs had a great day. James Cook even had a good day running the ball. I don't know. I don't think he got a touchdown, did he? No, so that kind of sucks. But I mean, 2 catches out of the backfield. He got you probably 11, 12 points, something like that. But I wish they wouldn't be giving the ball to Latavius Murray at the goal line. For James Cook is. I mean, I don't know what to think about James Cook. Just with Josh Allen having the ability to run the ball, it eliminates some of the running back carries, and that's what kind of sucks. Houston and Jacksonville. This is not how I saw this game going, but I've been on the Stroud is better than Young train since day one. I thought he's a better fit for the NFL, but and I don't know if Stroud's proving me right, but the guy's balling right now. The first week was a little rough. I get it. But Stroud is slinging that rock, and he's not turning the ball over. And that's one thing I think the Texans just need. They need someone that can sling it accurately. It's just, and it's not even like he's got some absurd weapons. He's doing it with Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Damian Pierce, Robert Woods, and John Mechie. Those are his guys. That's there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league that would think that's a great receiving core. Now I like Tank Dell as a prospect. I've got him in a dynasty league. Um, but still, I mean, these aren't the kind of this isn't a Bengals receiving room, it's not. And CJ Stroud's making it work against a defense, in my opinion, that's pretty solid in Jacksonville. They just held, Kansas City to 17 points. But ETN, big day. Christian Kirk, big enough day with the touchdown. Trevor Lawrence has just meh. That's just what it's been all year. I don't know. The Jags need to figure it out though. That offense can't score 17 points and be expected to win all the time. And got held to 9 last week against the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs have really good defense, in my opinion, but you just got to find a way to score more points. He's generational. Got to find a way to score more points. All right, Indianapolis, Baltimore in overtime. This was an ugly game, very ugly. Lamar had a big fantasy day with 2 rushing tuds and 100 yards on the ground. Gardner Minshew probably had a decent fantasy day. Not good, decent. Zay Flowers had a decent day receiving, but nothing really crazy on the Baltimore side, though. There's, I think, 12.8 was the most you got out of anybody. Or maybe it was 13 because they had a carry for 2 yards. But I mean, Michael Pittman, big day, and Josh Downs even, PPR wise, pretty big day. Zach Moss, big day. Zach Moss has been killing it, but getting 30 carries a game, that's as long as he's getting 30 a game, just play him. I don't care. That's ridiculous. But I mean, look at this right here. This is ugly. How many like fumble, field goal, like miss field goal at the end of the half, punt, turnover on downs, field goal. Like this was just an ugly game. Like the Colts come away with a win, 2-0 on the road. That's kind of wild. Baltimore, I feel like there's no team in the AFC North, which is supposed to be a pretty loaded division, has got it figured out right now, which is a good thing for all of those teams because whoever figures it out first might go on that long run that gets them that pulls away in the first place. But I would count on Baltimore and Cincinnati to be at the top of that division at the end of the year. I just think that's most likely how it's going to end up, unless the Bengals had to IR Joe, which would suck. But if it's necessary, it's necessary, But moving on to Seattle, Carolina, I watched a lot of this game as well. Andy Dalton slinging it, actually. Like throwing the ball 60 times is wild. Thielen, huge day. If you had Thielen, you were happy. If you had DJ Chark, you're also happy. Miles Sanders with a big day as well. He did not do much with the carries that he got, but like he actually had 14 more yards on 4 less receptions, like in the receiving game. But touchdown and 5 receptions for 38 yards, you'll take that every day. Mingo, not much cooking. Terrace Marshall got involved a little bit more, but I wouldn't look at that for anything. But I'd say Chark and Thielen could be wide receiver 3 or flex spots every week if you're in a 10 or 12 man. Kenneth Walker had a huge day for Seattle, and DK did as well. So if you're an owner of those guys, you feel good. And even Zach Charbonnet got involved some in the run game and looked good. So, you're feeling good if you're like a dynasty owner on Zach Charbonnet. But I mean, Seattle moves to 2-1. Panthers 0-3. Tough in Carolina. Chicago and Kansas City. Wow. Taylor Swift's big news. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, definitely dating. came to watch Trav. Trav got a touchdown. Again, Travis, big day. Rashee Rice, actually, if you played him in like a flex spot, did decent enough that you didn't complain. Like he didn't kill you. Patty, big day. Always. He's Patty. But I would say week to week, Pacheco can start, Kelsey and Mahomes, obviously. And then if you need it, I think that Rashee Rice can start. They seem to be wanting to get him the ball as much as anyone other than Kelsey. So I mean that's good. That's if you're a Rashee Rice owner, that's good news for you. DJ Moore saved his week with a touchdown. Fields, I don't know, man. They look bad. Bears look bad. And I've been a Bears guy. I've it ain't looking good. It is not looking good. Bears might have 2 top 5 picks. That's wild. Biggest upset of the day by far. Cardinals over the Cowboys. That's ridiculous. I no one saw this game going this way. But I mean, Dak, look, man, Pollard killing it on the ground. Michael Gallup actually was your leading fantasy scorer, though. I mean, that is what it is. I mean, if you play Michael Gallup, cool. Jake Ferguson did good for a tight end. CeeDee Lamb had a bad week, so you're kind of flustered if you're a CeeDee Lamb owner. But these kind of weeks happen. You're glad it's week 3 of the season, not week 14. Moving on though, Cowboys will bounce back. Cardinals will keep losing. I don't know. That was the flukiest fluke I've ever seen in my life. Let's not even start on Josh McDaniels. Garoppolo 3 picks. This man has looked awful. Jacobs has not looked good. Devontae Adams, if you're an Adams owner or a Jacoby Myers owner, you feel all right. But and even I think Garoppolo ended up with like 20 fantasy points. But still, though, with 3 picks, you're just not liking that. Pickett looked meh. That's what we'll say. Calvin Austin, if you played him, which you shouldn't, he had a good day. Freiermuth, pretty good day for a tight end. 13 points out of a tight end is as good as you can ask for, really, unless you've got Kelsey. Najee just not the guy, man. I don't know. I think he needs to get out of Pittsburgh personally, but I don't know. It's yeah. He acts like he wants to run for a loss of a yard, But okay, let's cover Philadelphia. I'll do predictions as we got time for Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, and then Los Angeles, Cincinnati. I think this is a get right game for the Eagles. They have not looked like the Eagles yet. I think you see a big day from AJ Brown today, and also as well as DeAndre Swift in the run game. I think he follows up with another good game. Maybe not quite like last week, but y'all get what I'm saying. I think this might be the first game where Baker kind of struggles some. I think that the Eagles secondary and the Eagles D line is going to give him some trouble. I think it will, but don't write them off. They have been a good team so far this year. So it's not like they're the Buccaneers where last year where they couldn't score but damn 12 points a game. Like it was just ugly. They seem to be a better team this year. And Mike Evans has been killing it. I don't know why they can't cover him on deep balls ever, but the dude's wide open like every play, it feels like. Score prediction, I'm gonna say 31-23 Philly. And then moving on to Rams Bengals. We still don't know if Burrow's playing or not. So I'm gonna make my predictions based on Burrow's playing, and Burrow is healthy enough to play. Like that. So basically, I'm saying the Bengals aren't going to do something stupid, hopefully. But I think that Aaron Donald is just probably going to torment the Bengals tonight, and it's going to be ugly again. It's just how the Bengals roll when there's a top tier defensive lineman or defensive line in general on the opposing team. We're screwed. They just absolutely changed the game because our O line can't stop them. So I'm gonna say, even with Burrow healthy, I'm saying 27-21 Rams, just because the Bengals just haven't had it. And I don't know if the Bengals have anyone that can cover Puka Nacua or Tutu Atwell because they've looked ugly. In my opinion, the secondaries looked just not there. As like the safeties, we're missing Jesse Bates and Dax, and or excuse me, not Dax Hill, Von Bell. We're missing them bad, but it's it's tough. It is what it is. I'm gonna go Rams 27-21. Um, but I mean, again, it's just like with Tampa Bay and Philly. Don't be surprised if the Bengals just come out there high flying and lay it on the Rams. It's well within their potential to do that. So I don't write them off. Um, let me you guys comment. Let me know what you think about this weekend's games and about the Monday night games if you watch this before Monday night. Um, make sure to comment and let and whoo, sorry, y'all had a moment. Um, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you'd like to see. We're gonna go over some baseball here in the future. Playoff baseball is about to kick off. As most of you know, I'm a huge Braves fan. And Colby, who's not here right now, he's at school. Is also a huge Braves fan. So we're ready for the postseason to get kicked up. Hopefully the Braves can make a deep run. They've had a great year. We look forward to watching them. But that's all I've got for y'all. Peace.